Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ham Radio Basics Live, Season 3, Episode 39, Ham Radio News and Updates, November 12th, 2025. Hope everyone is doing well today. Now, if you take a look at the scrolling bar down there, this episode is pre-recorded. The reason for that is it's a good reason. This afternoon, I'm getting fitted for my finals today. I'm going to be getting my permanent cubic zirconium teeth in, and I am thrilled, happy over the moon. But that's going to take place, and it's going to take long enough that I won't be able to do this live. And I still wanted to get you guys a broadcast out there today. So we're going to go ahead and go with that. I got a few things that I do want to talk about. Also, first, I know it's a day after, but I do want to wish those of you who are veterans a very happy Veterans Day. Thank you all for your service. My father was a World War II Navy veteran. I could not be more proud of each and every one of our veterans that are out there. Also, I want to congratulate my son-in-law. He was a veteran in the United States Army, served in Kuwait and Afghanistan, and thank you for your service as well, Andy. So, and also yesterday was my beautiful mother-in-law's 86th birthday. So happy birthday to Janice Masters. I know she's not going to be watching, but I wanted to get that out there as well anyway. She's a real blessing to me, and if your parents are still around, you have an opportunity, make sure you spend time with them, call them, talk to them, do whatever you can, because both of mine are gone, and it's hard at times. It really is. And I think you guys know where I'm coming from. But anyway, all those regulars, thank you guys for stopping by today. Appreciate each and every one of you. Those of you who are following us on X, thank you. Really appreciate that. Normally you could dive in the chat and click on the link on YouTube. You're welcome to do that. You can still watch it there if you want and post some comments. And if you guys ever have any comments or questions, you can always reach me at hamradiobasics@gmail.com, hamradiobasics@gmail.com. One of the things I want to kind of follow up on a little bit from last week, a couple of things. There's still no update in terms of status on the 7300 MK2 from ICOM on when it's going to be out. My thinking is probably going to be last week of December, first week of January. As you know, Gigaparts is actually taking orders for them. You have to pay the whole amount, and Ham Radio Outlet and DX Engineering are just asking for deposit at this point in time. And I would have tendency to go to the deposit route myself. The other thing I also want to follow up on too, and I got some very positive comments on it, is the new Baofeng UV5 Mini. That really looks like a great HD at $28 on Amazon. Last I checked, that's a great price. That's something that you can, talk about a good stocking stuffer. And it's feature packed, and it has passed, spurious emissions tests. So, it's on my list for sure. And I hope Santa is good to me and gets me one this Christmas, because I think that's going to be a very popular HT this Christmas, especially to give. $28. You can afford to give some to your friends. Maybe somebody can give one to Bill at Ham Radio Basics. So anyway, there's some thoughts, and I'm going to be coming up with an episode here in the next couple of weeks or so on a Christmas wish list and also a stocking stuffer list for you guys to kind of give you some help and guidance, and also ones that are going to be within budget and reasonable, something that you guys can go ahead and afford. I want to make sure and be cognizant of that, because it's ham radio. It's a wonderful hobby. It's the best hobby in the world, but also it's one of the most expensive hobbies in the world too. So you got to be real careful here. But there's ways of doing it, and we're going to talk about traditional routes, and we're going to talk about some what I call non-traditional, obviously going after used equipment, and some tips on that, because Facebook Marketplace can be very attractive, but you don't really know the history behind some things. And one of the tips, and I'll go ahead and I'll offer that tip now, is if you're in a club that's probably one of the best places to buy used equipment, because you can go to that person's house, you can try things out. They can bring something in to the club and it can be tested to make sure it's working, that kind of thing. That's I'm going to be offering some things like that. So, all right. So I got a couple things that I do want to talk about today. I'm a big supporter of Ham Radio Test Prep and World Radio League. They just do fantastic work there. Love them so much. I had Professor Jim on most recently. He was great. He's a fantastic instructor. Their classes that they have and the courses that they have, coursework they have, are second to none. I mean, some HF courses, how to build your own HF station, on a budget, those kind of things. It really just really do a great job on that. So James does a fantastic job. So what I want to do though today is, the first thing is World Radio League. If you know them, they're James is founded that as well too, and they are logging software, basically, is what they are. Now they just went through some major updates and fixes as far as firmware updates and fixes, and I wanted to run by that with you, because I know some of you guys use that, and I wanted to make sure that I got this out here. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. All right. What we fixed and improved this week: enhanced call sign lookup function. Look for even more upgrades coming soon. We're making our call sign lookup faster and more accurate. Smarter geocoding, caches and reuses results for faster mapping. That's good. Fixed distance calculation issues and several analytics inconsistencies. There were several issues related to distance calculations that have been resolved. CAT control issues in progress. There is a known issue where CAT control is disconnecting from the radio during operation. We're on it. Mode changing bug during contact logging resolved across all views thanks to HB9EVT. Membership level integration issues. The wrong membership level was showing in the community. Now that's fixed. Fixed QSO map limit on mobile. There was an issue where the mobile app would show a max of 50 contacts. This is now fixed. Other bug and performance enhancements. So if you guys are, I highly suggest that. It's great software. Those guys really listen to you, and they really are very responsive to that. And this is great because, they're telling you some things that still need to be fixed. And that's one thing I like about James. He's on top of stuff, and he doesn't let stuff sit. Instead of just glossing over it or not having it on there, it's on there. And I think that's a good thing, because you guys know, they're working on something on that. So, they're really trying to make this a very robust software, and very purposeful. They listen to the community out there. Please keep up your great suggestions to them. They really do a great job with that. So I wanted to go ahead and run this by you, because I know a lot of people are constantly on a good search for logging software. I think they do a great job. I think, and it's very affordable. You can get on there for free, and you can get enhancements in there to enhance your experience. So all in all, they do a great job, and it's something you should consider for your logging software. Okay. Now, the next thing I wanted to go over with, and I saw this, and this was fantastic. I mean, obviously they're there to sell antennas. Okay. I've used all kinds of antennas. Alpha Antennas makes some great antennas out there. Okay. And they put together a great list. And I kind of wanted to go over this with you guys today. And it's the top 5 best VHF, UHF, HF antennas for beginners and advanced amateur hams. Okay. And let me go ahead and share this here. And what we're going to do is, we'll go over them, and we'll show the examples that Alpha Antennas actually have for sale, and talk about that here a little bit. So let's go. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Okay. Top 5 best VHF, UHF, HF antennas for beginners and advanced amateur hams. Okay. Even an expensive rig won't perform well without a properly selected antenna, because an antenna is a key factor in determining your rig's performance. So let's explore the top 5 HF ham radio antennas for beginners and advanced hams, with a special focus on practical usage examples. Antenna buying advice from experienced ham radio operators. Many experienced amateur radio operators recommend allocating a larger budget to antenna rather than the transceiver, simply because a modest radio paired with a well-designed antenna will outperform a high-end radio with a subpar antenna. When selecting a well-designed antenna, it's important to recognize the antennas are described for specific applications such as DXing, NVIS, QRP, contesting, or supporting portable, mobile, or base station operations. Therefore, selecting an appropriate antenna aligned with your intended use will help optimize power efficiency and maximize contact opportunities by improving propagation and overall performance. A good antenna ensures efficient signal transmission and reception, better performance in challenging environments, ease of setup, and portability. The ideal antenna should be 1, easy to install and use, 2, affordable and durable, 3, versatile for different deployment requirements, base, mobile, and portable, such as parks on the air. Let's dive into the top 5 HF antennas that meet these criteria with real-world examples of how they can be used. Rugged portable antenna that is quick to deploy. The MIL 2.0 antenna from Alpha is a fantastic choice for operators who want portable and rugged antennas designed for quick deployment and works well across multiple HF bands. Usage example, portable field operation. Imagine you're heading out for a weekend of portable ham radio operators for POTA. The MIL 2.0 antenna can be set up in minutes thanks to its simple design. Its compact size makes it easy to carry, and its performance ensures you can make contacts on 40 meters, 20 meters, and other popular HF bands from 6 through 80 meters. Why it's great. No need for a tuner in most cases. Lightweight and easy to transport. Rugged enough for frequent outdoor use. And let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and take a look at that here. Excuse me. Okay, here it is. These antennas are on the pricey side. I have something simpler. I have the a MIL 2.0 from Chameleon as well too, and it's very similar to this. It's really designed for great portable operations on this. Never remove or loosen any of the bolts, washers, nuts, or caps on the auto match. All right, and there's some specs on here as well too, and some analysis. And you can tell, and the testing people that have tested this have been really pleased with this. This is something that I would highly recommend. I don't have it, but I have something similar to that with Chameleon with their MIL 2.0, and it's a great antenna. It's easy to set up. The way the tripod is, it's really made for quick deployments, and and you'll be able to get a lot of bands with this. One of the things that I can say though is you probably want to make sure that you follow all the instructions and that you fully extend the whip as well too. I think that's important on that. So okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to go back and look at the second point here. And the second point here is magnetic loop antennas, mag loops. A magnetic loop antenna is perfect for operators with limited space. It's compact, efficient, and ideal for urban environments where large antennas aren't feasible. For operators looking for a 100-watt magnetic loop antenna, there's only one option, which are the mag loop antennas made by Alpha Antenna. Usage example, apartment, condo, or portable setup. If you live in an apartment with no access to a backyard, the VHF, UHF, HF Alpha Loop is a lifesaver. Set it up on a park bench, your balcony, or even indoors, and you'll be able to make contacts on VHF, UHF, and HF bands like 20 meters and 40 meters. It's even a little directional in nature, which can help reduce some noise from nearby electronics by pulling them in the null, center of the loop. Why it's great. Compact and easy to set up. Works well in noisy environments. No need for large spaces. No wires to trip over. One of the things, and I'm going to show it here in a second, but one of the things I want to caution you guys with is this, This isn't for a permanent setup inside your apartment. This is something that you would want to set up and tear down. And also to realize too, the laws of physics, you want to have this as far away from you as possible. And you also want to try to avoid, anything like if you have televisions or, sound systems or, any heavy duty electronics, laptops, desktops, those kind of things. You want to try to position this away from that because you don't want to have that interference, that electromagnetic interference from those devices. So, and you need to understand that also too. If you're transmitting on 100 watts, okay, radio waves come out from this, and you need to be real careful on that. The other thing is you want to set your expectations for something like this, and I know this is put out by Alpha Antennas to encourage you to get that. And if you live in these kind of situations, it's ideal. But understand something, okay? You're not going to be making 3,000 or 4,000 mile contacts on this on HF, okay? You might if you get out on a balcony and the weather's great and propagation is great, but chances are real good, you'll get some HF contacts. But don't expect to get like halfway across the world. That's probably not going to happen. So you want to set some realistic expectations with this. So let's go ahead and take a look at the mag loop antennas that Alpha has here. Let me go ahead and share that. And they come in a variety of, now the 100-watt one here. It's 10 to 40, a remote tune with a base mag loop. That's $999. 10 to 40, 100-watt output, 80 meters, HF mag loop. That's $550. VHF, UHF, HF antenna, ECOM mag loop is $399. There's a 6-meter VHF, UHF mag loop add-on, which is $50. And there's 6 LMR 400 mag loop coaxial clips, which help with your cables, which are $15. Again, these are not cheap, but they do work. And, they, when it's priced accordingly like this, you kind of get what you pay for, especially with Alpha Antennas. They build a quality product and they back it up. And again, this is ideal for you, especially if you live in an apartment or a condo, or you have a very heavy, you live in a townhouse, and there's absolutely no room to get any kind of an antenna up. This would work well. Also, if you have a balcony or say maybe a front or a back porch, this would work well too. But understand your restrictions with this, and understand also too, it's pretty expensive. But again, I believe you do get what you pay for. Reviews have borne this out with these Alpha Loop antennas. They do a good job. So let's go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the next bullet point here. And okay. All right. I'm trying to find it here. I got it. Okay. Usage example. Okay. All right. All right. End-fed half-wave antenna. The end-fed half-wave antenna for HF is a popular choice due to its simplicity and versatility. Specifically, the HF J-pole antenna options from Alpha can be used for multiple bands, and prices are reasonable. Usage example, backyard installation or portable setup. End-fed half-wave antenna can be strung between 2 trees in your backyard or in a park, making it a great option for home and portable setups. It's resonant on multiple bands, so you can easily switch between the HF bands. Why it's great: easy to install with minimal equipment, multi-band capability, and affordable here. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the HF J-pole antenna option that they have. Let's go ahead and do that here. Okay, this is the HF J-pole antenna option. It's 160 to 10 meters. It's $219. And it's very reasonable. And they run through they do provide, and one thing Alpha does very well, they do provide some good instructions on this. And there are always, for any of these antenna options, guys, there's plenty of videos out on YouTube on how to do the setups for these. And that's what's nice with Alpha antennas. I think a lot of these antennas do not require a lot of setup on that. And you can see right here, they provide an example to kind of show what it's like. A lot of people, when they do an antenna like this, they bring their own telescoping rods as well too, and it kind of makes things a little on the easier side. So, but again, that's only $219, and again, that's from Alpha Antenna. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one here. All right. Now we're going to go with number 4, multiband VHF, UHF, HF dipole and vertical antenna. The hex antenna is a versatile antenna that can be deployed as a vertical or dipole and covers multiple VHF, UHF, and HF bands. Designed for efficiency, the system deploys quickly and is an excellent performer. Usage example, base camp or POTA, emergency communications. In an emergency, you need an antenna that's quick to set up and reliable and performs better than other options. The Alpha Hex antenna is that antenna. It can be deployed in minutes and provides solid performance on 220, 440, plus 2 to 40 meters, making it ideal for emergency communications. The reasons are also what make it perfect for POTA deployments as well. Covers multiple bands without a tuner, easy to set up in any location, rugged and very efficient. And I want to stop right there. Always, if you have time to do an antenna or get your tuner out, that's always good. But there's not always time to do that, especially with emergency communications. And you want something that's going to require minimal setup. And this is something that is like that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up here. I think that's really important here. Again, understanding, with these antennas, some of these options are, they do cost. This, of course, this option right here, the Hex Antenna Deluxe is $600, but it does come with a lot, and it does come with everything that you need to get set up and run. And again, it works on 2 to 40 meters vertical, 10 to 20 meters, 220 to 440, and it's perfect for emergency communications. Also for POTA as well too, if you're going out and doing that, or SOTA. And it's lightweight, it's portable, it's easy to set up, and it works. I mean, it works right out of the box. And again, you can go out and take a look at some of the reviews out on YouTube, and it'll bear that out. This is something that I think is something you all should really consider in terms of an antenna for portable operations for POTA, SOTA, and also to have around for emergency comms. I think this is fantastic. Let's go ahead and move on to the next here. Now, this is a perfect option if you live in an HOA, and it's called the gutter antenna. And the gutter antenna is a classic and straightforward option. It's essentially an option that activates your largest antenna that's already deployed on your downspout and gutters here. Usage example, home station. The HOA buster system from Alpha Antenna provides operations for 10 to 80 meters, 440, 900 megahertz, GMRS, and CB, making it the best all-around choice for beginners and advanced operators. The installation is very simple. Push the stake into the ground that the HOA buster is attached to, clip the jumper wire to your downspout, and connect your coax. That's it. The results are excellent. Performance for your local and DX long-distance contacts. It's also a great way to get started without breaking the bank. Why it's great for beginners and advanced operators. Stealthy design and easy to deploy. Excellent cost to performance ratio. Can be adapted to MCOM emergency communications and deployments with optional elements. And, again, this is something that is very easy to set up. let's go ahead and take a look at that here. And it's, and it's priced right. I think it's priced very well as far as that's concerned. And here it is. And there's, like I said, there's not a lot to that. Okay. There's not a lot. And there's what you clip on. You can see that's what you clip onto your gutters here. Now, for me, one of the things that I found out now, why this can be a great option for you, but, and I would say this just from, and I've read a lot of reviews on this because this is something that I considered for myself, and it's not going to work for me because we have almost all construction down here in Florida, or newer construction, has stucco outside walls. And because of that, more often than not, they use some form of chicken wire mesh when they go ahead and they put the stucco up there. And obviously, the stucco is, beyond the concrete block, because we all have concrete blocked homes here in Florida. If you're familiar with hurricane code, ever since Andrew hit, every home in the state of Florida has been built with concrete block. It's a must. It's a part of the building codes around here. But that wire mesh interferes with the ability of this gutter antenna to work. And so it's not an option for me. I'd love to be able to do it because I do have a nice gutter that runs on the side, the one side of our house. We live in they used to call them twin singles, but they call them villas here. But, the gutter runs a length. It would be absolutely perfect and so easy to run inside. But because of that wire mesh in there, it's going to completely interfere with that. And I didn't even attempt to try it, because if I do, I know I would get lots of interference. I probably wouldn't be making, I'd probably only be able to make some short distance contacts with that, and not sure how VHF, UHF would even operate on that as well too. So that's why that's not an option for me. But if you live in a house, especially up north, when I lived up in Ohio, that doesn't have that chicken wire mesh in there, this is an excellent option because it's totally concealed. Nobody will see it. You can hide this behind a bush if you even wanted to do that as well too. And you run coax into your shack from outside, and you're all set and you're all ready to go. So it's a viable option for a lot of people, and I think it's priced well. Mostly, and let me tell you this, one of the things that I can tell you about Alpha, some of them do appear pricey, and I do agree about that. But understand, I always say this, on my drone channel, you get what you pay for, and more often than not, you get some bang for your buck here. Okay. They're not out to price gouge you. They're not out to, make a killing. Obviously they're in business, to make money, but they put out a quality product. It works. You go out to YouTube for any of these antennas, more often than not, you'll find great reviews on them. Alpha Antennas has been around for a while. I don't see them going anywhere. They do a great job. And this is a good list to have out there. So I wanted to go ahead and go over that because I think, and they kind of said this right up front. Okay. You can spend, I would rather spend, say, $600 or $700 on an, spend over the top for a good antenna, say like $600 or $700 in one of these instances versus, and have a okay receiver versus, spending, $2,000 or $3,000 for a receiver and spend $50 on an antenna because, it's like you get what you pay for here. And really, it's, one of the things that I heard, one of the early sayings and that I've heard from one of the Elmers was, there are three things that you need to be a great ham radio operator: antenna, antenna, antenna. It's like for a realtor, location, location, location. For a ham radio operator, it's antenna, antenna, antenna. And that's what you got to think, because you can have the best transceiver in the world. If you have a $50 antenna, it's not going to get you around the block. So that's all that I have for today. I want to thank you guys for watching this pre-recorded video. And again, I apologize in advance, but I'm having I'm going to be getting my new teeth done this afternoon, which I'm really looking forward to. Hope you guys find this information useful. If you please make sure that you like and share. And if you haven't subscribed to Ham Radio Basics, please do so. After the first of the year, I'm going to be amping up the content some more. I'm getting closer to retirement, so I'm getting some more additional time here. So you're going to find I'm going to be doing a lot of HT reviews coming up as well too. I'm going to get a Tiny SA Ultra for the holidays, and I'm going to be looking at doing a lot of HT reviews with them, looking at spurious emissions for one thing, wattage from them as well, and kind of advise you guys in terms of what to get as far as that's concerned. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day. As always, guys, it's a great day to make a QSO. 7 3s, everybody. Have a great rest.